Prabhupada ki jai, Hari Ram Sankirtan ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktavra ki jai, Jai Gaur Sikanam. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Mahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta-pada-kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana-Raghunatam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana-sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana-Lita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamine Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauravise Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Neelachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramahane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaye Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripasindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I thank Madhav, Gopinath Prabhu and other devotees who invited me here for today's morning Bhagavatam class. Actually, I am not so much qualified here. There are many more qualified devotees, initiated devotees, senior devotees are there. So I seek blessings from all the devotees here. If they bless me, then I can maybe discuss something from Bhagavatam for my own purification. So the verses given were from 1.2.6 to 1.2.11. No? Yes. I will try. I don't know whether these are very important verses and also nice purports are there from Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 So 1.2.6. Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo. Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo. Yato Bhaktir Adokshade. Yato Bhaktir Adokshade. Ahaitukya Pratihata. Ahaitukya Pratihata. Jayatma Suprasidati. Jayatma Suprasidati. So, how from we recite what word meaning and translation and purport? We read, man? Yes. At least for this verse, maybe I read, but I may not be able to for everyone, all the verses. Saha, that Why? Certainly. Pumsam, for mankind. Paraha, sublime. Dharmaha, occupation. Yataha, by which. Bhaktihi, devotional service. Adukshaje, onto the transcendence. Ahetuki, causeless. Apratihata, unbroken. Yaya, by which. Atma, the self. Suprasidati, completely satisfied. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. Purport. In this statement, Sri Sutta Goswami answers the first question of the sages of Naimisharanya. The sages asked to summarize the whole range of revealed scriptures and present the most essential part so that fallen people or the people in general might easily take it up. The Vedas prescribe two different types of occupation for the human being. One is called Pravritti Marga, or the path of sense enjoyment, and the other is called Nivritti Marga, or the path of renunciation. The path of enjoyment is inferior, and the path of sacrifice for the supreme cause is superior. The material existence of the living being is a diseased condition of actual life. Actual life is spiritual existence, or Brahmabhuta existence, where life is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Mental existence is temporary, illusory, and full of miseries. There is no happiness at all. There is just the futile attempt to get rid of the miseries, and temporary cessation of misery is falsely called happiness. Therefore, the path of progressive material enjoyment, which is temporary, miserable, and illusory, is inferior. But devotional service to the Supreme Lord, which leads one to eternal, blissful, and all-cognizant life, is called the superior occupation, quality of occupation. This is sometimes polluted when mixed with the inferior quality. For example, adoption of devotional service for material gain is certainly an obstruction to the progressive path of renunciation. Renunciation or abnegation for ultimate good is certainly a better occupation than enjoyment in the diseased condition of life. Such enjoyment only aggravates the symptoms of disease and increases its duration. Therefore, devotional service to the Lord must be pure in quality, without the least desire for material enjoyment. One should therefore accept the superior quality of occupation in the form of the devotional service of the Lord, without any tinge of unnecessary desire, fruitive action, and philosophical speculation. This alone can lead one to perpetual solace in his service. We have purposely denoted dharma as occupation because the root meaning of the word dharma is that which sustains one's existence. A living being's sustenance of existence is to coordinate his activities with his eternal relation with the Supreme Lord Krishna. Krishna is the central pivot of living beings, and he is the all-attractive living being or eternal form amongst all other living beings or eternal forms. Each and every living being has his eternal form in the spiritual existence, and Krishna is the eternal attraction for all of them. Krishna is a complete whole, and everything else is part and parcel. The relation of one is one of the servant and servant. It is transcendental and is completely distinct from our experience in material existence. This relation of servant and a servant is the most congenial form of intimacy. One can realize it as devotional service progresses. Everyone should engage himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, even in the present conditioned state of material existence. That will gradually give one the clue to actual life and please him to complete satisfaction. So Prabhupada has written essence of bhakti or devotional service in this verse. Rupa Goswami describes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Our devotional service should be ahituki apratiha. Yeah, Atma Suprasita. Then only it can satisfy the self. So here it is given. Actually, only pure bhakti can satisfy the self. So here Prabhupada describes this. I think you have already completed the first chapter, which basically contains the 6 questions of the sages of Naimisharanya. And this answers one of the questions of Naimisharanya sages. Mainly, what is the essence of all the scriptures? Essence of all the scriptures is bhakti, pure devotional service. And bhakti also, people have different understanding of what is bhakti, outside what. But here our Goswami says this basically from our scriptures, Bhagavatam. Here the same thing is repeated. That it should be unmotivated, without. So here Prabhupada included everything. That definition also in purport and translation practically of Shuddha Bhakti definition, Uttam Bhakti. So here, as we see in this purport, if we analyze, the 2 methods are there, Pravritti Marga and Nivritti Marga. And Pravritti Marga is actually path of enjoyment. But that is going to again bind you more and more to this material world. And the path of renunciation is there, another one. So here it is considered superior because you have to sacrifice something in the path of renunciation to achieve something higher. Spiritual life. So here few statements are there which are very important. Like here the sloka says that Eyatma Suprasidati, means nothing else can satisfy the self, because everybody is looking for happiness or satisfaction, and that is the reason why everybody is searching everywhere, and some of them searching, they came to Krishna consciousness. After Brahmande Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Mukti Lata Beach. After so many traveling, so many lifetimes, some of them got this by mercy of Guru and Krishna. By mercy of Guru we get Krishna, and by mercy of Krishna we get Guru. So ultimately we came to devotional service. And here also, and there are many levels, many different categories of devotees. So here the Prabhupada is telling that's why bhakti also, that should be, therefore devotional service must be pure in quality. The quality should be pure. What it means is without the least desire for mental enjoyment. That should not be there. This is gross, everybody understands more or less, sensual enjoyment or enjoyment of senses. That more or less everybody understands and everybody can recognize. You can also see if somebody is very much attached to sense gratification grossly, then you can see, easily understand he is not practicing pure devotional service. It's very easy. Oneself can understand, others also can understand. And generally people avoid, and that is mostly easily can be avoided by following 4 regulative principles, and many things are restricted there. Our sense enjoyment, no, don't eat this thing, don't do that. So many things are gross level, it is controlled or restricted, very easy. And Prabhupada writes, superior quality, without any teach for unnecessary desire, this nobody can know. And then fruitive action, this also nobody can understand. And next, philosophical speculation, this is also very difficult to understand. These 3 things. Of course, that original verse is jnana karma, that part Prabhupada covers here. Philosophical speculation, it should be free of this jnana element, and fruitive action, karma element, also one should be free. And desire should be unnecessary desire. This whole definition of pure bhakti Prabhupada covers in translation part. So this is the difficult part, unnecessary desire. This is all at mental level. Even this fruitive action. Sometimes we also act in devotional service expecting some material gain. Then that is again a problem. So till the point we are practicing, because we see, and many of the initiated devotees here, some of you have been practicing for quite a number of years. So you might have seen many people coming, and even in our own life also, going ups and downs in spiritual life, because our understanding and our things are maturing. We are also gradually understanding what is bhakti. So, and also we have seen many devotees coming and going, and some devotees coming and just progressing So we have seen now many categories of devotees. So one who practices pure devotion, and many people undergo a lot of mental agony or many different kinds of stress, tension. And some people are always frustrated in devotion service. And some people are always blissful. Of course, if some aspect is there of karma that from previous they are supposed to get some kind of troubles and tribulations in this life. That is there, but how one takes it up. Like we have seen many devotees even in time of death, they are blissful. They have got cancer or something, they are still blissful, they good. They have a lot of troubles in life, but because they are blissful and they are always devotional. Because actually these things are all how strong we are and how pure we are in devotional service, these things will least affect us. Otherwise, if we are not pure in motive or if we are not aspiring for pure devotional service, when everything is good also, we will find problems. And we are not satisfied. Suppose everything is fine, no problem is there, still we will think, oh, why this is happening to me? Or why that devotee behaved like this with me? Or why I did not get this thing? Why they gave this thing to him? Or something like that. Some mental problem will arise. So till the point we are like on the platform, if we want to practice pure devotional service and we want to be like, ultimately we will progress by chanting nicely. That is the main way. But for chanting nicely, we have to be like Amanina, Amanina. So many people get disturbed. I not got sufficient respect. I am so senior. I've been in 25 years movement. So they're not giving me sufficient respect. Some devotee is not respected in some temple or whatever. So people are disturbed, means they are expecting respect. Then one cannot practice pure devotion service. One cannot chant peacefully. So ultimately, if we have any kind of desire, which is not unnecessary desire, then we cannot practice pure devotion service. And mental level is very difficult to understand. So intellectual level, mental level. So their mental level is like having a lot of this internal desires. And many times we may perform very enthusiastically, expecting something in return. Then that is also dangerous. Because we should not expect anything. And when we do this, what happens is that we may not experience happiness actually. Sometimes we expect something and we may get it also. Then we become happy also. And they think our devotion service is going nice. Then that is actually not real spiritual happiness. That is still a tinge of material element is it. It's not pure. It's not pure. Like actually, devotional service such as Susukam Tattvamavya. It is actually, process itself is happy. Process itself is happy. And the next thing is philosophical speculation. Philosophical speculation is also very dangerous and very risky. One thing is outside, when we were not into devotee, impersonalism and other things. And after coming into devotion service also, then still there are like a lot of the scope for philosophical speculation. But that also, there is a lot of, that's why many times some devotees read so many scriptures, so many acharyas commentary, and then sometimes they even think, oh, Prabhupada, they may neglect even Prabhupada purports or Prabhupada books. They think that, oh, some things are missing here. We have many more things to learn and Prabhupada has not given. Some things people get to like that level of understanding and then they get deviated. So that's why it's very risky. So we need to be very careful in our devotional service. And if we are careful and if we can practice pure devotional service, that will actually satisfy oneself. So this is like Yatma Suprasiddha. If it is a Haituki Apratihata, nothing can stop our practice of devotional service, because we have seen so many cases of some devotees practicing in extreme difficult conditions in real life also. And also in Bhagavatam there are so many examples. So Kunti Maharani prays Vipada Santu Dasasvat Tatrata Jagat Guru. So Bhavato Darshanam Yat Purnat Darshanam. So once I get your darshan, I will not get. So that's why if Vipad comes, then every time you come to save us, so we can take your darshan. So she is expecting nobody will go and pray for getting vipat, difficulties. Nobody will care. And all, even I see many times after devotees, we have devotional service, still they pray for getting out of troubles, getting out of difficulties, getting out of health problems, many things. Of course, that is still, we can see that still we are not very high, we have not reached that level of devotion like Nimai or something, they are very high. But still we cannot imitate also. Again, we have to accept where we are there. And at least we can pray, like one day we can practice purely. We can also pray that maybe this, then I can practice pure devotional service. So this is a very interesting thing, and here like one important aspect is Prabhupada mentions is dharma. He explains dharma. It's very nicely explains dharma. So we all know that first is sambandha, abhideya and prayojan. Okay? The Prabhupada explains these three things in this one. Sambandha is basically this, we need to understand our relationship with Krishna. That is sambandha, first part which Prabhupada explains. And then he explains that what is that sambandha, when we realize what is sambandha between Krishna and us, that he is the servant and we are the servant. So this part has to be clear. Then only we can actually do the second part, abhideya, we can do service. Unless until we understand that we are servant, how will service start? So sambandha has to be clear. Once the sambandha is clear, then we can do service. And finally, the result Prabhupada is that will gradually give one the clue of actually, even if we are not able to become overnight pure devotee, still you practice whatever Anartha said, you start practicing, the more you practice pure devotion, you start realizing. And interesting thing with Prabhupada writes, the relationship, this sambandha also, now we have theoretically understood, we are servant. But that realization will increase. This relation of servant and servant is most congenial, and one can realize it as devotional service progresses. So it's not like we have understood that we are servant. It's easy to say, but when we do start services, we do servicing, we are doing services and all, that how much we are able to maintain the mood of servant in practical life, that is the most important thing. Theoretically, though we understood, we can learn whole Bhagavatam also. I can give class also, but the realization is a different thing. Realizing oneself, right, by practice of devotional service. So this understanding will increase. And we know our goal is to become Gopi Vatapadakamalayor Dasan. To become this, to have this consciousness is the best thing. And the consciousness of being the servant, because everybody wants to be served in this world. That's why they came. Right? They came to enjoy and take service from others. But here our process is reverse. We want to serve, and we want to serve by being the servant of servant. This is a tough job. This is a tough job. Because except Krishna, nobody is perfect in this world. Nobody is perfect. Like Lakshmi Devi, when she came out of the Samudra, she was checking, in all devatas she was finding defect. So only Vishnu is perfect. So she gave the garland to Vishnu. So it's very difficult to get a perfect person in this world, except Krishna or Vishnu. And then pure devotee is also perfect, like Lord. And pure devotee, like Prabhupada. And then, but we have to become dasana, so we need to serve under someone. We may find defects because of our mentality. Then it becomes difficult to become servant of servant. We think, okay, it is difficult to become servant of this person, but I will become servant of maybe my only, if I can serve directly my Guru Maharaj, then I will be nice. That will be great. And sometimes if the mentality is not gone, then many people found fault with Prabhupada and left Prabhupada. Prabhupada's servant also found fault. Prabhupada told. When moon landing was going on, he told that this is fake. When live was going on in TV, it is fake. Purushottam was shocked with his servant. Then later on, after some time, he left. Because he was saying, this still it is faith in science and whatever. So it's very difficult. So one can even find, or one can live even pure devotee also. The mentality is there. So it's very difficult to become servant because you have to follow, accept, and mind will reject. So it's very difficult. But thing is that the principle is there. the parampara is there, and the Krishna, the parampara, his authorized parampara is there. So, but this, if we can follow this principle, then actually we can be happy. Like for example, we are getting something from top and from Guru and the parampara, and we just execute it, or we just serve in the mood of serving. Servant means order comes from top, and we just follow that. Servant means the servant gets the order, and he just executes the order. Then if we are in that mood and we do it, actually we feel more happy and satisfied. And see how an authority or a superior or guru will be happy. But like if a teacher, how teacher will be happy if teacher is telling something to the student, and if the student does it as it is, teacher will be happy, right? If you are also there, under you someone is there, whom with you are happy. Whoever is exactly following your instruction and executing it as it is, you'll be extremely happy with that person. Automatically it will become favorite of you, right? Some people may be very intelligent, talented, but they are not following the teacher or your teaching. They only they do their own things, but teacher is not so happy with them. Right? They say, okay, fine, you may be talented, but what is the point? You don't have this mood. Because in ISKCON or in Krishna consciousness or in Bhakti, things happen because of the mercy and because of the blessings. Then, if one has a talent, that is like nice. Otherwise, like some people criticize Arjuna and praise Karna also. Karna is more talented than Arjuna. No? Because of Krishna, Arjuna could win. Because of Krishna, because he's played something because of which Karna was unlawfully killed. Otherwise, Karna is more talented than Arjuna. And Mahabharata also descriptions are like that some people will get doubt on it. In some places, Prabhupada also writes. Actually, Karna is more expert in Prabhupada writes in. So people may think, but the point is there, then people are telling because of Krishna, Arjuna as one. But that is the actually point. We are saying that only. Then why Krishna supported Arjuna, not Karna? Krishna, okay, Karna, we agree, find your point. Karna is more talented than Arjuna. But then why Krishna supported Arjuna? He is less talented. Because talent is not the only thing. Talent is not the only factor by which Krishna will select some person. Competence is not the only factor. There should be character first. That part is this. Because Arjuna is like wants Krishna, right? Everybody wants that, like Duryodhana also wanted Krishna to be on his side, and Pandavas also. But the point is here, Pandavas not just they want to be Krishna on their side, they want to be on Krishna's side, right? Let's say when choice came, it doesn't matter with soldiers for Arjuna. He want to be with Krishna, no matter what. But Duryodhana is that he want to be on his side. See, point is we want Lord to be on our side. It's not proper consciousness. Our consciousness will be we should be on Lord's side. Wherever is Lord. Not that we expect Lord should come to our side. And Lord is the dharma. Like you should, wherever Lord is there, take dharma is there. You go to Lord's side, wherever Lord is there, irrespective of thing. So Arjuna Pandavas chose Krishna, even though he left all Sena and he told I will not fight. Because they want to be that, no, they want to be on Krishna's side. Wherever Krishna is there, we want to be there with Krishna. So like that, so Krishna definitely, and Arjuna he selected, and there were Dronacharya or Bhishma Pitama. So Krishna wanted to prove everybody has this dharma discussion is coming. Everybody was thinking I'm following my dharma. That's why dharma is there, because everybody was confused about their dharma. Otherwise, Bhishma Pitama is there, Dronacharya is there. Then why there was confusion on dharma? That Asat Sabha happened. Then Draupadi questions. Bhishma could not reply. It's very difficult. Dharma is very difficult. I cannot say exactly whether what Duryodhana is doing correct or not, whether Yudhishthira actually lost you or not, whether what is happening is correct or not, dharma or not. I cannot say because it's very difficult to understand. So Bhishma could not take any stand there, and others also could not say anything. So basically, because Bhishma was also thinking that I'm doing my dharma, Kshatriya dharma I'm following, I take a vow, whoever is going to be sitting on the throne of Hastinapura, I'm going to support. So he's thinking, I have to keep my vow. And he's just thinking I'm doing my dharma. No, Dronacharya is thinking I'm doing my dharma because ultimately he did everything for his son. So his son is on the side of Duryodhana is thinking, I have to support my son or whatever. Pita dharma. Like that. So everybody is thinking that I am also following dharma. Everybody is on the side of dharma. But ultimately, when Karna was thinking, when Krishna offered him, better come this side. No, you know that you are the elder son of Kunti. So you will become the king, you better come this side. You, all Pandavas will serve you. You just have to change your side now. Anyway, you are not going to fight because you have taken a vow. Till the point Bhishma is dead, I will not fight. But still, Karna wanted to be, I'm telling that, out of friendship. It was that dharma, friendship dharma. So people have different dharma understandings. And everybody is thinking I am following dharma. So that's why Krishna has to come to teach what is dharma. Right? Do you want?
But Vishnu Pitamaha for the pleasure?
Yeah, that is there. That element is there, obviously. That element is there. Bhishma being a great devotee, because he wanted that, because Krishna wanted him to the other side, because Krishna wanted to prove that no matter how big you are, and if you are on the other side, you have to be vanquished. On the side of Adharma, you have to be vanquished. So but that's what Krishna wanted to prove, that no matter how big you are, that doesn't matter. How ready you are to follow me. Arjuna is ready to follow me. Krishna tried everything before, tried to make Duryodhana and his party to understand. He went as a messenger. Where he is a king, Dwarka is what is the need for him to go. Still he went as a messenger. Tried to make them understand, but they don't care. Rather they wanted to arrest Krishna. See, he went as a messenger and he wanted to arrest and put him in jail. So Krishna tried that part. But when he told Arjuna also he gave suggestion. There is a difference. He suggested Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, they did not hear the suggestion. And Bhagavad Gita is, he gave direction to Krishna. And after that, whole Bhagavad Gita had Arjuna's, his intention was not to fight, but he changed his intention because Krishna wants me to fight. So I have to fight. Of course, Krishna told, Yata ichchasi tata kuru, whatever you desire you do, Arjuna. I have told my part. Krishna told, no, Smritir Mohan is still up. My all Smriti has come back, intelligence. My all Moha is gone. So now I will follow you. Whatever you say, I will. So Arjuna is ready to become. And Krishna told, you don't need to worry. You have to just become an instrument. Bhava Sarva. So Nimitta Matra Bhava. You have to just become an instrument. And you don't need to be. Krishna will give you all. Even Karna is more talent. Who gave that intelligence and talent? Krishna only gave. And that is the whole thing. So Krishna wanted to see that who is going to be ready to become proper servant. So then he will empower that servant. He empowered Arjuna and he gave him the whole credit of winning the war. And big people like Bhishma, Drona, Duryodhana, Karna, everybody was vanquished. So this thing, not only just like this, he has achieved victory, but he has satisfied the Krishna. And we know Krishna is Yasmin Tushti, Jagat Tushti. Krishna is satisfied, everyone is satisfied. So this is the principle we understand. So ultimately when Krishna is satisfied, then only we can get satisfaction. Otherwise, we may get satisfaction and pleasure at different levels, like mental level, intellectual level, and all. But that is still lower. Of course, that is higher than gross. So many people stuck up there. So they think, okay, this is not gross and I am getting higher pleasure. But higher than that is actually spiritual pleasure. Spiritual pleasure is satisfaction of the Lord. I am doing only for the satisfaction of the Lord. That is the highest. And if we can do that, then our life is successful. And we will ourselves feel happiness. So bhakti is such a process, we can judge ourselves. Our progress is, how is our progress? If we are happy, we are satisfied, that itself is a success of bhakti. Nothing else is required. If you are satisfied and happy dude is the best preacher. So if you are just happy in your devotional service, whatever you are doing according to your capacity, whatever service you are doing, that's secondary thing. Because any service you do, by then you can go back to that. Not a particular service. But if you are, and you can find happiness and satisfaction only if you see that this is pleasing to Krishna, if you can understand that. And if Krishna is pleasing to Krishna. So here, next, this is a very important set of slokas actually. I cannot, I'll just try to at least cover some things. The unlimited, this thing is there. This sloka 8 says, Dharma svanasthita pumsam vishvatsya katanasvayam nutpadayet yutiratim shrema evahi kevalam. So whatever you do by that, ultimately you have to develop that desire to hear more and more. This is all barometer for us only, right? When we progress in bhakti. Okay. If we are increasing our desire to hear more and more, then whatever duty, occupation, dharma we are following, that's nice. Otherwise, it's all shema evahi kevalam. So it should develop the rati towards Krishna consciousness, to hear about Krishna Katha. So, Dharmasya hyapavargasya nartortamapayalpate nartasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya smritah. So now here it is, that's why I explained that whatever occupation, all occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in ultimate occupations should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. First thing, one should not work for material gain, right? Any activity in there, we should be aiming for ultimate liberation, should be aiming. And even if we get some material gain, that should not be used for sense gratification. We may get, like when you practice devotional service, you may get some kind of wealth or followers or name, fame or position, post. You may get. But actually those are not indication that you are progressing in devotional service. That is not a barometer. Sometimes people think, okay, I have been so many years, so I have to get so much, at least this much kind of position or following or a name. Then I think I'm progressing. It's not like that. That is not the parameter. So some people may be given some opulences, like Ambarish Maharaj, he was rich, he was given, but he engaged everything in Krishna service. Yes, and some people may remain poor. If required, Krishna will give, and they will engage. That can be engaged. That should not be engaged in sense gratification. Like Sudama also, initially was not having. He went to Krishna. His wife sent so that he can ask something, but still Sudama did not ask anything. Just came back, and he was feeling very satisfied and happy while coming. He forgot the whole tiredness, everything. And interestingly, when Sudama went back to his place, already there was a palace and so much wealth was there. And Krishna, actually, what he taught, which is very nicely written in Bhagavatam, if somebody has read, what Krishna says is that Sudama has brought one chila, poha. So that actually he was not having that much also in his house, but his wife begged in some houses and brought and fried or something and gave booty. Sudama was feeling very, so it's such a big palace, Krishna is, how can I give such a cheap offering, low quality offering? But still Krishna snatched it and he took. And then Krishna thought that Sudama did not have anything. He has zero. But still he begged something and brought something for him. Right? So what can I give that I can reciprocate with his? If like he has nothing, so he brought something and gave. Now Krishna has everything. You are getting a point? So he has to bring something more than what he has to give Sudama to equal what he has given. So Krishna is saying, I can never repay him back. Actually, what Sudama has given me, I can never, because उस पर कुछ नहीं था, फिर भी लेके आया, बस इतना कुछ है तो मैं कितना देना चाहिए मेरे को. So then he gave a lot of wealth, and Sudama is explaining about he engaged everything in Krishna service and charity and all. So like that, it should not be engaged in sense gratification, and that will not happen if we are like properly situated in Krishna consciousness. So that is one thing. कामस्य नेन्द्रिय प्रीतिर लाभो जीवित यावत जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञास नातो यश्चेह धर्मभिः. I did not miss anything. I missed one. Sorry, we got. 8th is done. Ninth one I have to do, huh? Oh, 7th one I missed, huh? Oh, sorry. That's what I was thinking, something I'm missing. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Jeniyatyeshu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayadahetukam. This is also very nice. That one, if practicing devotional service, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. This is also one of the signs of progress. And Prabhupada says many times, how much one is getting detached from material desires, desire to enjoy, means that much is progressing. So this is the byproduct. Jnana and Vairagya are byproducts of bhakti. So, and we can see that many of our acharyas, like Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, spiritual master, Gaur Kishore Prabhuji Maharaj, he was like practically illiterate, but still he was, he knows everything. The Babaji platform is there, and Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur has to go so many times. Bhaktivinoda Thakur could himself have given Diksha to Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. And Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was super qualified person, and materially he also is very intelligent and qualified person. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself has given him Shiksha. Practically he is a Shiksha Guru. And many times Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says, my Shiksha Guru is Bhaktivinoda Thakur only. He told you to go and take Diksha from Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj. And he went and he was not giving only. 17 times he went, and finally when he told like jumping Ganga and then he finally agreed to give Diksha. So ultimately you see, and he was illiterate practically. But essence of bhakti, essence of Krishna. Ultimately the knowledge is the essence of all knowledge to understand Krishna. That he has understood. And he used to, whatever anybody used to ask is to answer. So amazingly. So they are Vairagyam. So they are completely, I think he is one person, without, not to get disturbed, he used to chant at, in the toilet, near toilet. So when he was doing like that, one Raja from Krishnanagar came to him, some very affluent person came, and he saw that this Babaji is just chanting in such a place. I think he is no proper place to stay. So he went offered. So you please come to my palace, I have a nice place for you where you can do bhajan. He offered, invited him, I can provide you a nice place. He told, you give up your palace and you come here and do bhajan. He never came left. So he said, my Vairagi, he has no attachment only, no desire. That's why it's very disturbance if I stay in a nice place, so many people come and disturb me. So by the time you stay here, nobody will come, and I can easily chant. So that is the level of Babaji Maharaj. So Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. So this whole thing is there. So Bhakti definition and its characteristics are very nicely explained here. Dharmasya apavargasya narto toye palpate. This I think we discussed. And then Kamasya nendriya priti labho jiveta yavata jivasya tatra jigyasa nato yasya dharmabhi. So ultimately everybody has some desire and everything. So here it is told that that should be not be directed for sense gratification, and that desire should be for a healthy life or self-preservation. And Satato Brahma Jigyasa, one should inquire about the absolute truth. Nothing else should be the goal of one's life. Because Satato Brahma Jigyasa, when one does, actually human being life begins. Till that point he is like animal. So here, this point is told, you try to understand the absolute truth. And what is absolute truth? That is given in the next sloka. Right? 3 levels that can be realized in 3 levels. Vadanti tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shakti. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan realization. So ultimately, this realization, different people have different level of realization that is explained here. Of course, the Bhagavatam starts with this Param Satyam, the definition of absolute truth. That's Bhagavatam. So this is I'll not go more deeply because which I think we are time is more or less. So if anything anybody has question, discussion will go on this long about. At least I thought one part I will discuss a little bit, first one, and others I just go over. Thank you very much. Actually, I am very grateful to Mother Gopinath and other devotees here. Patiently hearing, and if any mistakes or anybody is hurt, please forgive me for my statements. Srimad Bhagavatam is ocean, unlimited. So I try to just present a few things which I understood and realized. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Samaveda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Jai Go Sitarat Premanandi.
As you all may be knowing, like no, is there Sundar Nimai Prabhu is from IIT Kharagpur, then served in ISKCON Calcutta a long time, then under Adisham Prabhu, and now he is president of ISKCON Habibpur. He is practicing devotional service for a long time, and we know many other devotees also. They are all from same batch. Our Shrimita head Prabhu is not here. He is also Prabhu's batchmate, and Vimal Prabhu is also
Vimal Prabhu was 1 year.
1 year senior. Thank you for coming. And he is from this place only, Hyderabad. Prabhu can speak Telugu also. Last week in Rampalli he gave lecture in Telugu. Please keep coming here regularly. Hare Krishna. Let's loudly chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times, expressing our gratitude. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare